This tutorial will show you how to cite a commentary that's in a single volume commentary on the whole Bible. The way that these typically work is that you have an editor who brings together a number of different authors. Each author writes the commentary on a specific book of the Bible. Then you put all those together into one large volume. These are not overly difficult to cite, but they are a unique thing that you encounter, and so I want to make sure that we have an example here. So the example that we're going to work from is from an earlier edition of the Transforming Word, a one-volume commentary on the Bible, as you can see here. In later editions of the Transforming Word, they've actually split it out into multi-volumes, which creates its own unique citation challenges, and there's a video showing you what you do when you've got a multi-volume commentary on the whole Bible. But in earlier editions, it's a single volume, and so we'll use that as an example for how to cite something. So we're going to try to cite here the commentary on Genesis by Christopher Hurd and in the Transforming Word. And we'll show you how to do that here as we go through. The best paradigm for this comes from the student supplement to the SBL Handbook of Style. It's not addressed directly in the SBL Handbook, but in the student supplement they have a section on single volume commentaries on the entire Bible. The reason this isn't in the SBL Handbook of Style is because they have a section that they think addresses this already. So you can see here in the student supplement they're pointing you to 6.2.12. If I jump over there, that's the section on an article in an edited volume. We actually have another video tutorial showing you how to cite an essay in an edited volume, and so this is exactly the same thing, but I'm putting it here because sometimes it can get confusing when we're talking about commentaries or essays, and I just thought it might be helpful to have a standalone tutorial about how to cite a single volume commentary on the entire Bible. So we're going to be looking at the student supplement for our paradigms because it addresses it most directly and gives you an example that looks like what we're going to be doing here. And so again, you can see here what a footnote looks like, a short footnote, and then the full bibliography entry. This is the same kind of information we're used to finding in other places: author's name, the title of the specific chapter or commentary, and then the information on the book as a whole. So let's go through and add this information as we need it. So as I said, we're going to begin first with the author's name and the title of the specific chapter or commentary that we're citing. So it should look like that. One thing to note here is that this particular author uses an abbreviated form of their first name. So they'll use their initial for their first name, and then they write out their middle name. And so that's kind of let you know this person goes by Christopher, but that's actually their middle name. So when it can be a little bit confusing because we're not used to abbreviating or using the initial for the first name, but this is what it should look like. Right? R. Christopher Hurd with the last name first. Then we have the title of the commentary, title of the chapter in this one volume, Genesis. And now what we need is the inclusive page numbers. Starts on page 107 and goes through page 142. Once we have that, then we start to add the information from the specific volume here, the Transforming Word that we're citing. We need to include the editor's information. And here's a good place to note that often in these commentaries there are long lists of editors because various editors serve in various roles. In this case, you just need the general editor that's overseeing the whole project or the whole volume. Once we have this information, then all we're lacking now is the information on the publisher. And so that's what your footnote entry should look like, or rather your bibliography entry should look like. The footnote is going to be very similar. We can look over here on our paradigm and see it's basically all the same information, just rearranged in the ways that we're used to rearranging things for footnotes. So let me copy and paste this entry here so we can get all the information there and then show you the changes that you would need to make. The first change, of course, is to put the author's first name first. R. Christopher Hurd, and then we use a comma to separate things instead of periods. And we can eliminate this information about the pages because we'll put that at the end. We'll cite the specific pages that we're citing when we add this footnote. Remember to change to the abbreviated form for editor in the footnotes, and then we'll put the publisher information in parentheses, followed by a page number for that particular, whatever we're citing with that particular footnote. Now the short footnote is Fairly easy, as you can see here. We just need the author's name, the article title, chapter title, and then the page number, whatever we're citing. So that should look like this. So that shows you what the short footnote should look like. Notice I've added that blank line in between my footnotes. That's what's supposed to be there. So again, this is fairly simple to cite once you know what to do, and hopefully this helps you do it correctly.